Hey YouTube, today I'm going to be talking about the daily life that you will experience in Air Force BMT and the different kind of jobs or details that you have to do throughout your experience. First things first, the daily life. It's gonna vary just like everything else in basic training. You might have a different experience than me, but it just depends on your MTI and the squadron that you get placed in. My flight woke up generally every morning at 4:30. Reveille doesn't go off until 4:45. You're supposed to wake up at 4:45, but we always set our watches for 4:30. We woke up, we brushed our teeth, and we started cleaning up a little bit, getting the beds ready, and just, getting dressed and getting prepared for the day. Now, some of your MTIs might be fine with that. Some of them might not, because you are supposed to technically stay in bed till 4:45, and you have until 5 o'clock to get the beds ready, get dressed, brush your teeth, and shaved, and be lined up on the wall in 15 minutes. That never happens. My flight never did it. I don't know if any flight has ever accomplished hitting that goal, but that's why we woke up at 4:30. So it made everything a lot simpler, and we didn't get bitched at too much. But yeah, you'll wake up 4:45 earlier if you're allowed to. If you're not, you can, just don't get caught. Wake up at 4:45. You have to be lined up, dressed in your proper attire, whatever that may be, at 5 o'clock, and then you go downstairs for I don't even remember what it was called, but you go downstairs and you just make sure that just squadron commander makes sure that no one disappeared or killed themselves, any of that stuff overnight. And I would assume during the summer months that after that is when you go to PT. You don't even get dressed in your uniform or anything. You just get on the PT stuff and you go out and you go do PT. But I went through basic training in the winter, so we did not PT in the morning because it was fucking freezing all the time. It snowed, even though I I told everybody, like, the second we got there, hey, it's gonna snow, man. And everyone was like, no, this is freaking Texas, man. It never snows. And it fucking snowed. So, yes, it does snow in Texas. In San Antonio, it does. But, like I said, if you go to PT, I'm not sure how they're gonna do that. I mean, you probably go to PT, you go upstairs, you get a shower, and then you go to lunch or breakfast. But that's only a guess on my part. But after that, we went upstairs and we started on details, which is pretty much cleaning, um, you know, cleaning the bathrooms, cleaning up the floors, stuff like that. I'll go over all the different details you can have later on in the video, but we had pretty much like 50 minutes, an hour, 45 minutes to do all that. It was no problem. We finished it. And then we went to breakfast like at 6:15. And then after that, it depends on what week you're in, what you're doing, if you're going to the shooting range, or if you're getting shots, or you're getting stuff issued to you, or you're filling out paperwork, or you're going to the obstacle course or the gas chamber. It all really just freaking depends on what you're doing. Sometimes you might come back to your squadron to eat lunch. Sometimes you might get these little boxes and you open it up and it's a fucking frozen sub and the Oreos and the pretzels and the drink. It's freaking awful. It's the first thing that you get when you get to basic training on the first night. If you watch that video, you know what I'm talking about. It's awful. The sandwich is just awful. Don't eat the mayonnaise because mayonnaise is always bad. It's always expired and crap. But anyway, it all just kind of depends on what week you're in and all that good stuff. After that, you go to dinner, you eat dinner, you come back, you do your details, and then you go to bed. 9 o'clock. That's it. I mean, it sounds like you really do nothing throughout the day, but I mean, you are busy 24, not 24/7, but I mean, you're doing all sorts of crazy shit all the time. There's never a dull moment in basic training. As for the different kinds of details, there are a shit ton of them. I don't remember the official names of them all, but really when you first get there within the first week, you know, your MTI will say some weird shit, like he'll be like, who worked in retail and did blah 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 this, and you know, you'll raise your hand and then he'll go, okay, you're gonna clean the fucking toilets, and you're like, where'd you get that logic from? But it's kind of bizarre the way they pick things. But I was actually on the latrine crew and CQ duty, which the latrine crew is just, you pretty much clean the latrine, which is the freaking bathroom. You know, it was a pretty shitty job, no pun intended, but I mean, it is pretty dirty. You'll be surprised. The MTIs, they're assholes when it comes to latrine. It has to be spotless. So I mean, if you're the latrine queen, which is like the leader, you have to be spot on, because they do. I mean, they'll take like a piece of toilet paper and like go in a corner of the bathroom and wipe it, and if it's dirty, they'll make you like wipe it up with your hands and shit. And we actually had to do push-ups like in the bathroom at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it was like, you know, some things they do aren't sanitary, but it's basic training, so what are you gonna do about it? And then there's the bed aligners, which pretty much, you know, they align the beds and they make sure the beds are straight and look nice. Kind of a stupid job, I guess, but every detail is important because you will get bitched at no matter what. Everything has to be perfect. And then there's the shoe aligners. They align the shoes because the shoes have to be perfectly aligned with your bed, and the beds have to be perfectly aligned with a certain tile. So there's that. And then there's the house mouse, which pretty much in between the bays, there is a little tiny room where the MTI, it's his room. There's, you know, it's like a little office, and then on the other side there's like a bed and stuff, which our MTI never really slept there. I think like once or twice he did, but some MTIs may stay in there, but the house mouse pretty much just cleans that, which I mean, it's kind of a scary job if you ask me. I never did it or talked to the guy who did it in my flight, but it sounds kind of freaky, but whatever. And then there's the day room crew, which they, you know, just clean the day room, which is the big living room type area where you have the meetings and stuff. And like I said, that detail is important because you get busted a lot on having dirt and dust and fucking the couches out of place and stuff. I mean, they take stuff very seriously in basic training, but that's really it for the details inside of your dorm or whatever. Now, you know, I said I was in CQ. I was on CQ duty. which is pretty much it's where all the MTIs and the master sergeant and the station commander, that's where that's all their offices in there. Now I know everyone in my flight was like horrified of CQ. I mean, they thought it was like the worst place ever. But a little secret, if you get the chance, I'd do it. It's totally worth it. I got yelled at maybe like once, but I mean, as long as you behave and you whisper, dude, I mean, it's fun. I had fun every night. Like at like 7 o'clock, I would go down to CQ and hang out with the people that cleaned, and we would clean for like 30 minutes and get everything done, and then fucking sit in a room and like talk and joke around, you know. And whenever we heard footsteps, we'd just be quiet and act like we were studying, you know. But it's an easy detail. You have to, you know, be proper with your military grammar and the way you act. Like, you have to knock on all the doors before you enter them, and, you know, ask if you can enter and get the trash or something like that, because if you just walk in, they will fucking tear your ass up, you know. And then there's KP duty, which is kitchen patrol. I did it once while we were in Beast, but other than that, I know sometimes you have to wake up really early in the morning and go and help out the cooks. I mean, that's really all you do in KP duties. You help out the cooks and you wash dishes and crap like that. It's kind of it's kind of an all-day thing. But I mean, some days you will have detail days where you just go. It's like the obstacle course and help, or go do KP duty, or whatever. You know, they'll send you somewhere and you'll just be bored and help. That's really it. I had KP duty once. It was pretty cool because we got all the leftover food and we could eat as much of it as we wanted to. That's really the only perk of KP. I know a lot of people loved it and said it was awesome, so if it's something you might be interested in, you know, it doesn't hurt to speak up whenever your MTI is mentioning it. Other than that, I mean, that's really all the details, and that's really, you know, the basic gist of basic training. Pretty much what your life is like, what you do, what you clean. Now, if you haven't checked out my other videos, I have 2 videos already. The one is your first week of basic training, and the other is pretty much what to do before you leave and how to prepare and stuff like that. My next video is going to be on the PT in basic training, what you do when you do it, all that kind of stuff, and I'll probably actually show you some tips, and I'll give you some advice on what to do before you leave for basic training so you can get ready and you'll be prepared for the PT. Now, if you have any questions, I have my Twitter down below, or you can message me on YouTube. Just let me know if you have any questions. All right, thanks for watching.